YouTube Live. We've had a request from several individuals that are homebound to record this. So my question is, does anyone here have any problem with being on the camera or having their name or anything that they say on the camera for YouTube Live? No problems? It's okay if they look at you, huh, Stan? Say again. Oh, okay, so hearing no objections then, please let it be noted that you are aware that you are on YouTube Live and that thousands are watching you right now. Millions will be seeing you on your gratitude journey. And for the individuals that are watching us on live or watching us later, thank you for your request. And as I said, it won't be a lot of fun for you to be looking at the back of people's heads, but nevertheless, we will let you do that. So we're all adults in this room. If you need to take a break because we only have an hour and we're going to be going quickly, please know that the ladies' room is on this side of the church, the men's room is on that side of the church, and we will be moving through a lot of processes and experiences very quickly tonight. So whatever you need, get up, get your coffee, do whatever you need to keep yourself comfortable, all right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's begin then with an invocation, or a evocation as we like to say here, by Loretta, our practitioner.
So if you are feeling comfortable closing your human eyes right now, opening up the spiritual eye wider to the truth than ever before in this very moment, and leaning into the love that goes on and on and on forever, and knowing that there is only love, and in this knowing, gratitude is pouring through each one of us, being here together on this journey together. This evening that will unfold with ease, with grace, and most of all, with great gratitude. And for all of this, knowing that thankfulness flows from us, releasing these words, trusting and knowing that it is a beautiful time together, and so it is.
Man. So I assume that everybody here knows their first name, yes? You can make it up if you want to, I don't care. But we want to introduce ourselves with a little process to go quickly. Quickly, people. Quickly being the operative word, maximum of 3 words. We would like you to introduce yourself with a word that describes you using the first letter of your name. So as an example, it would be perhaps joyful, jolly Jackie. Got it? So everybody think. My first name starts with A. And what positive, uplifting word describes me using my first initial? You want to start standing over
I am loving Loretta.
I am little lovable Laura.
You just took mine, Jackie.
Oh. Little as in statute? As in theory?
Statue.
I am joyful. And I don't know what else can go with that. Just one. Jean.
Marvelous Meg.
I am completely stuck on joyful. We've got a lot of J's. Joyful Jessica.
Marvelous Mary.
I am curious Carrie. I am curious Carrie.
I'm kind Kathy.
I'm happy Holly.
I am also joyful Janine.
Another joyful Joetta.
Cheerful Chris.
Delightful David.
Daring Dave.
Joyful Jane.
That's okay.
I'm jaunty, jovial JJ.
I am insightful Ian.
I am passionate, personable Pamela.
I am calm, collected, and charismatic Chuck.
I'm serious, maybe too serious, Stan.
Okay, let's give Stan another word. He's probably too serious, and that's okay, because serious is a good word. Who's got a good S word? Sincere. Silly. What? Sensational. Sexy. Ooh. Ready to receive all of that? Sure, he says. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right, we're going to make I'll handle this. I would like to, just for a moment, and we will come back to some introductions again in a few minutes, but let's let Loretta have the floor for a moment. Thank you.
Okay, so we don't have tremendous amount of time this evening, and I just want to start the conversation. We're all here together, pondering together at first. So I love to ponder things. Who's willing to ponder things together? Okay, so I'm going to ask maybe 3 people, just if you can answer in one word, what is gratitude? What is gratitude? Chris. Wonderful. Being happy or appreciative for what you have or what is coming is what Chris answers. That's fabulous, yeah. Anyone else? What is gratitude?
Gratitude for me is being alive. It's being what's being given to us, which is life itself, the spirit, and all that we are.
Oh, thank you. Okay, and so let's see. You two did not introduce yourselves. Okay, but I would like one of you to answer, what is gratitude?
To be thankful.
Conversation about what I found. I did some study on gratitude. So gratitude, for some people, do you think gratitude is a feeling? Okay. Is it in an emotion? Who said no? Is there a difference between feeling and emotion? Anyone? Thank you. Wow. That's a fabulous answer, I think. Well, how about a practice? Is it a practice? How many of you have a formal practice of gratitude? How many of you have ever had some kind of a formal practice of gratitude? Maybe you're not doing it right now. Okay. Well, over my lifetime of coming into my spiritual life, I've entertained practices of gratitude, and then sometimes I don't formally practice. So this is what this is all about, is for us to practice. But one of the things I wanted to point out about gratitude is that if we're just looking at it from a psychological perspective, I love this definition. Gratitude is the expression of appreciation for what one has. It is a recognition of value independent of monetary worth, spontaneously generated from within. It is an affirmation of goodness and warmth. This social emotion strengthens relationships, and its roots run deep in evolutionary history, emanating from the survival value of helping others and being helped in return. Studies show that specific areas of the brain are involved in experiencing and expressing gratitude. Brain scans of people assigned a task that stimulates expression of gratitude show lasting changes in the prefrontal cortex that heighten sensitivity to future experiences of gratitude. So what I have found, being a practitioner of science of mind and also having practiced, that we offer in this beautiful philosophy many practices. And all of the practices are pretty much doing the same thing. And so I love this definition because lately I've really been kind of noticing this in my own life. So what it means by moving from the amygdala in our brain to the prefrontal cortex is where, does anyone have any kind of background in that? I'll just talk about it really briefly. The amygdala is the part of the brain, it's part of the limbic system, and it's the place where in our humanity, most of our thoughts go there first, because we dwell in this place, this world where we have these subconscious fears that we are not going to, that we're not going to survive. So anyway, usually that's what happens first. Our thoughts go there first. And so for a lot of us to move from that place of fear, what do we have to do? What do we have to do? What are we offered here in this spiritual community? Faith, yes. I used the word just a few moments ago, though. I'm going to say it again. Practice. Practice is so important. If I want to have a healthy, strong body, what do I have to do? Practice. If I want to be able to master playing the piano, what do I have to do? If I want to have a strong spiritual nature, what do I have to do? Okay, so this is what we're here to do with each other. We're here to practice. And I just want to point out that all of the spiritual traditions really offer this. Jesus demonstrated with some of the miracles that were demonstrated that right before it happened, he said, "Thank you, Father," and then Lazarus was raised from the dead. When the loaves and fishes were abundantly served to the beautiful people in the community, he thanked before that unfolded, where it seemed impossible. So this is what we're here for. We're here to really transform our lives through practice. This is one of the many practices, one of the many spiritual tools. And so one of the things I really wanted to point out was that there is this beautiful community in upstate New York, and it's called let me see, I gotta find my little paperwork here. I don't know how to pronounce it, so the Haudenosaunee community. And what it is, it's a group of nations, indigenous nations, that came together many, 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 many years ago, where they noticed that they had a lot of conflict between the different nations, and there was a decision made when the peacemaker, who is Hiawatha, demonstrated that we can live in harmony. So there are the Iroquois, the Mohawks, the Onondaga, the Senecas, all of these different communities that came together. They are known to be the longest standing participatory democracy today. Before every meeting, before every ceremony they have, they together do the Thanksgiving greeting, which entails I'm going to just say the first one, but it entails thanking the people, the earth mother, the waters, the fish, the plants, the edible plants, the medicinal plants, the sun, the moon. Everything is thanked. This is before every meeting they have. So I'm just going to read the first one. Today we have gathered and we see that the cycle of life continues. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. So now we bring our minds together as one as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now our minds are one. And it's moved through every one of these categories. They teach their small children that are in the schools where they're relearning the traditions of their native, their native cultures, and their children learn how to do this. And it takes like 10 or 15 minutes at least before every meeting. So I just wanted to point that one beautiful thing out. So I think that it's time to probably move on to our next task. So, yeah.
So gratitude. So, may I have the book? Yes. So, when Loretta and I discussed doing an Awaken Wednesday in November, of course it had to be gratitude. Because Thanksgiving. What's Thanksgiving all about? Giving thanks. Thanksgiving. Or thanks living. So So Loretta brought this book that she and Dave had been working on for several years. Now, many of you know Rhonda Byrne because Rhonda Byrne wrote The Secret, which I am not fond of. I've never been I've just never been fond of The Secret. I felt it was just too me, too grabby, and so forth. So I ignored her subsequent books. And by the way, she's written 5. One also, which I would encourage you to read, called The Hero. But in this case, it's called The Magic. But it's not about magic. It's the magic of gratitude. So we are loosely borrowing, and I do mean loosely and lavishly borrowing from Miss Byrne with her 28-day practice because it works. Loretta and Dave have done it. I have been going through it. It is an amazing thing what we are going to do. I want to tell you how this process is going to work. Tonight, you are going to do 2 of the practices. So you're going to do 2 nights in one, and you are going to receive day 3 practice as well to go home with. Every single day, by the afternoon, you will be receiving the next day's practice. Some of them will involve some things that you need to do. Some of them, all of them will be very laid out exactly what you need to do for the practice. It may be that as a group we decide to come back another Wednesday and talk about this because you're kind of going to be doing these practices on your own. But as Loretta has pointed out, the one thing we know that if we practice, you will develop the muscle. And the muscle we're looking for here is the muscle of gratitude because, my beloved ones, gratitude will change your life. I want to tell you that the first few practices, I think the first 10, could you hold that for me since I'm like Loretta here, I've got all kind of things going on. I want to tell you that out of the 28 practices, the first 12 days, the first 12 practices that you're going to do are for gratitude for what you have now and what you have had in the past. The next 10 days are gratitude for your dreams, your desires, and your visioning. You're going to vision a life that gratitude is going to help you create. Now, a lot of you are already doing that. Probably every person sitting in this circle is doing that. But this is going to fine-tune that. That's going to hone it. That's going to fuel it. That's going to give it some oomph to get it going. And then the last 6 days of this practice are for higher level, how to help others, dissolve problems, improve situations, and so forth. So think about this. We're going to go on this journey for 28 days, and I and Loretta are going on it with you. And I and Loretta are going to be your accountability and support team. That means that when you leave here tonight, you're going to have our email and our phone numbers, and we are here for you. And we will be communicating with you every day and encouraging you. Because we know that as you change your life, our life is changed. So before we begin the practice, would you give us some music? Before we begin the first practice, I'd like you just to take everything off your seat, everything off your lap. Put your feet flat on the ground as comfortably as you can and anchor with Mother Earth. Let's do what we do here every Sunday. Let's just take a moment of stillness, of love, and of peace. Uncross those arms. I know you're cold, but uncross those arms. Yeah. Just allow yourself, sit as erectly as you can, be comfortable, and just allow yourself to close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow, deep breath to bring yourself into the present moment. Begin to feel more peaceful and centered. Take another deep breath. Breathe into your belly and feel it expand as you breathe in, and release all the breath that you can deeply out of your lungs. Now mentally scan your body for any places of tension or tightness or discomfort of any type. Continue to breathe the warm, oxygen-filled air into your lungs. And as you breathe out, let all the tension be released. Let it go. Mentally see yourself releasing now any worries, any jealousies, any guilt, any concerns. Just let them go. Let them go. Allow them to flow out into the ethers. Allow your body to relax even more. Focus now for a moment on gratitude. If you can remember when you were a child, a wee one, and someone gave you something that you wanted so much. Do you remember how you felt? Remember the excitement and the joy. That's gratitude. I want you to bring that feeling back into your body temple right now. We have so many things for which to be grateful. The gift of life. Our homes. Our friends. Our families. We're grateful to give service to our world in whatever form that is. The gift of our heartbeat, steady, strong, regular. All the things that help make our lives more comfortable and easier. Electricity, cars. We have so many gifts for which to be grateful. Allow your mind to think on that. We are so grateful that you are here. Allow yourself now to become conscious of the room. Feel the earth under your feet. And now say, thank you for the name that was given to me. Joyful, dauntless, beautiful. And so it is. Take a deep breath in and come back. Thank you. So we'd like to ask you to take one of these and pass it on. And if you're in a couple, would you just take one and then we'll get some more to you if we run out. If you're here with somebody that you know. You are being given this little booklet, and at the end of the book, at the end of this 28-day time, you will have 28 sheets of paper. You'll have actually 29 sheets of paper in it. Tonight you're going to go home with 3. But I would like to encourage you to look at the back. Okay, can we share? Are we really? Okay, wait, there's more coming around. No, there's more coming around. I want you to turn to the very back, and I want you to look at this emotional guidance scale. This is from Abraham Hicks, which, once again, I like Abraham Hicks, but they have just taken this chart that is known by many, many, many spiritual teachers. And this is the hierarchical chart of emotions. So if you look at the very bottom, number 22, fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness, based on the scales, based on life, this is the lowest energetic field for you. Yes? So you keep going up, and you can see in the lines, etc. You can read as well as I can. But look at what is number 1. Number 1, energy field for successful, happy fulfillment in your life. That which manifests the things that you want. Number 1, joy, appreciation is another word for gratitude, which means you are empowered, you have freedom, and you love. I think it's very interesting. Look at number 6, hopefulness. That's when the vibrational matches start showing up here. At that level, you are bringing in the same. That's where the law of attraction really starts to work in your life, when you move through these stages. Now listen, guys, we move back and forth on this chart. Do not think that Loretta, although I'm pretty sure Loretta stays in the 1 through 7 pretty much most of her life, but the reality is, let me tell you something. Yesterday, I was stuck in 16. I'm telling you. I stay a lot in 13. Oh boy, I've tried to move out of 18, and once in a while, it crops up. 14, I bounce back and forth. So you will find yourself on this chart every single day. But I'm showing this chart to you for a reason. Gratitude is more than just a word. Gratitude impacts your health. It impacts your relationships. It impacts your intelligence. It impacts your health. It impacts every single area of your life. And in fact, I've learned so much that I'm excited. We are excited about sharing with you some things I did not even know. Did you know that for every negative word that you say about another person, you're going to learn this in number 3, in practice number 3. I'm skipping. But did you know that if you say some trash about somebody one time, one bad statement, that it takes 10 positive statements to raise you out of that energy field? I've been working hard on that today. I've been thinking about all the negative things I said to somebody recently. Oh, it took me about 30 statements to even move myself half an inch. These are the kind of things we're going to be doing together. Okay, this is very exciting for me. Also, you will see on the back you have the information about Loretta and Reverend Jackie, and we are here. So, why do we do this? We do this to change your life. I'm going to give you practice day 1. Are you ready for practice day 1? Practice day 1 is called Count Your Blessings. Oh, and by the way, I want to go back to the magic. So if you get this book, and it is really quite a good book. I got a used book today for $4.79 on. It arrived and it was in really great shape. We don't happen to have these in the bookstore, but I just want to say this. I am not a fan of the word magic. And she uses the word, it'll happen magically. This magic happens. And I'm just going to point out why I'm not a fan of that word. I'm not a fan of that word because magic denotes something that happens that's beyond our control. It's magical. It happened magically. At least that's the way many people define magic. This is so within our control that it's almost scary to realize that we didn't take control of it sooner than we did. So we don't use the word magic. I have rewritten the processes to be more religious science and to be more in alignment. You don't have to really read this. I just want to tell you, number 1 practice is to count your blessings. You know, over and over in your life, you have heard the words, count your blessings. How many times did your mama tell you that? Mostly my grandmother told me that. Count your blessings, count your blessings. Your ministers told you that. Everybody told you that. Willie Nelson said, when I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. When I started counting my blessings. Someone else said, don't lose your blessings. Don't let your blessings be lost in the counting of the negative things in your life. That happens to me a lot. I spend a lot of time looking at the negatives, thinking about the negatives, talking about the negatives, because it's just not working. And yet you lose your blessing every single time we do that. So today, here's what this is practice number 1. Every day when you get up, you are going to think of 10 things for which you are grateful. Now, you probably think can I really do that? Oh, yes. Oh, you absolutely can. When Einstein gave thanks, he thought about why he was grateful. It's not just enough to say, I am so grateful for my dog Tavia that some of y'all met a few minutes ago. I am so grateful for my dog Tavia because she helped me get through my grief. I am so grateful for my dog Tavia because she shows me and teaches me unconditional love. Now, you feel the difference between I'm so grateful for Tavia and I am so grateful for Tavia because she greets me at the door and makes me feel like a queen every time I walk in. So we want you to think of 10 things for which you are grateful, but not just what it is, but why. Why are you grateful? Okay? Everybody, in the inside of your little booklet, there are some blank sheets. We're going to give you a few minutes. We want you to come up with at least 5, if you would. And I'll talk to you about the insert you've already gotten in just a minute. Right now, I want you to think of 5 blessings. If you look at your little sheet, 3rd paragraph. So with each item on your list, write the reason why you're grateful. I am truly blessed to have what, because, why. Here's an extra one. That's this one. And if you need a sheet of paper, we'll get you a sheet of paper. Anybody need any blank paper, we'll get you some. And then we will get you a little booklet. See, I told you it'd be more than 20. Very exciting. To make you feel grateful, you could be grateful to your source, to the Creator, to whatever word you want to use. Right now, we just want you to come up with 5, but every morning you'll be coming up with 10. I'm so happy and grateful for what? Why? With all my heart, I thank you for what? Why? How many of you have 5? Okay, how many of you have 3? All right, so let's just stop at 3. And you got 7 more, or you have how many more to do? Every single morning. 10. Now, after a while, you might think I can't come up with that's 280 things for which I'm grateful, and I bet you can. You can be grateful for every finger and every toe, I suppose. But the bottom line is you can come up with, I know you can. But if you can't, don't angst over it. Just keep adding to your list, maybe subtract and add. I want you to start here and turn in 2s. Turn to each other in 2s. And I want you just to share very quickly in 1 minute. Turn in 2s, come on. Yeah, it's a perfect. Yep. And share 1 or 2 of your gratitudes if you're comfortable. One or two, whatever you're grateful for. And for those of you who are writing it, just speak it out. I won't be able to hear you, although you could put it in the contacts if you wanted to. Did you lose your? Okay, begin to close it up, please. Begin to close it up, please. Okay. So, after you have finished writing your 10, every single morning you're going to go back and you're going to read all of them. I recommend that you read them out loud. Now, some of that will make some of you uncomfortable, but really, reading it out loud gives it some energy, gives it some life. You notice that we have 3 candles here on the table because we know that the triad, 3, is the language of creation. Creation, also spirit, mind, and body. And for those of you who are Christian, we could, never mind. But the point I'm making is that threes is the act of creation. And so after each one of these things, you're going to say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we had a big debate about the use of the word thank you. Should we say, I express appreciation? No, we did. We really had a wonderful discussion that sometimes thank you is somehow outside of ourselves. Thank you. This is not a thank you outside of ourselves. This is a thank you for the blessing that I have just spoken. Somebody give me one of your blessings, please. One of the things you're grateful for. Yes, Pamela. So she is grateful for one of the blessings that she is grateful for is for her spiritual family and all of the experiences that she's had in her life. And then she will say, thank you, thank you. Now, this feels as if it's a lot of work, but I promise you this is less than 10 minutes a day with all of the processes that you're going to be doing. You're going to be adding a process every day, but you won't be doing all the 28 every day. You'll be doing this process every day. You understanding? Process number 1, writing 10 things for which we are grateful, our 10 blessings. That is something you will do every day for the next 27 days, all right? And then every day we're going to add a process to it. Yes, ma'am. Right. So you can see that in your handout I have given you, it says, I am truly blessed. I am so happy. What Jean is saying, and it's so true, is just listing my dog, or Tavia, my husband, or David, my beautiful home in the mountains with the snow falling around it. But to say, I am grateful, or I'm deeply humbled and blessed by, or whatever words you want to use, we have given you some here. It is just so imperative that you personalize it. I am grateful. I am blessed, etc. Okay? So on this, turn it over and you can see that some magic gratitude subjects are health and body. If you get stuck, which none of y'all will, you can look at that and say, geez, what are some things in the money that I'm grateful for? In life that I'm grateful for? In love that I'm grateful for, etc. Now listen, guys. You should feel significantly better after you do this. You should. You should feel your body tingle, or whatever your body does when it is happy, when it is at peace, when it is at rest. And if you don't feel that way, once you've done this process, go back and do it again. Because the level of gratitude that you express is what will change. Look, I am grateful for, and I'm happy to have, and I love, blah, blah, blah. But if there's no emotion behind it, you're not creating the vibration that is going to attract it to you. Because what are we talking about? We are really talking about the law of attraction here, aren't we? We're really saying, we're trying to get this gratitude muscle so honed that you are attracting that and something better every moment of your life. So then every day you will be getting a little reminder. Make sure to read tomorrow's magical practice. Okay, I didn't change that word. I meant to say gratitude practice. Sometime today, as you will need to do something specific before you begin tomorrow. Okay? So tonight, day one, you were to write the 10. You want to finish that tonight before you go to bed. You want to write the why. You want to go back and read your list. I really want you to do it out loud if you can. Say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Feel the gratitude, and if you don't, please go back and do it again and repeat this every single day, okay? Got it? That's day 1. Now, shifting into day 2, but before we go into day 2, you notice that in your little brochure that you received, a printed thing called 10 Ways to Become More Grateful. Robert Emmons, if you do not know who Dr. Robert Emmons is, I do encourage you to study him. He is the PhD psychiatrist, et cetera, that has studied happiness for over 40 years now. What makes people happy? What makes people grateful? And this is directly from him. And this is just for your reading. But what we're really talking about here is, and this practice does follow all of these practices, is to make a vow to practice gratitude, number 7. Make a vow right now, people, to yourself that you're going to do this 28-day practice. Make a vow to yourself. Make an oath, whatever word works for you. Now, the next practice, as we shift into day 2, because remember, we're trying to catch you up so that you can, that Thanksgiving is your final day of gratitude. We're going to be doing a practice, and David, if you would help me, I would be very grateful. And Loretta is going to do the blessing. We're going to select a rock in a moment, but first we're going to bless them.
So knowing that there is only one of us here, and that since this is true, I am an expression of that one. And what is true for me is true for each of us. And so the infinity of God is surging through me as I'm blessing these beautiful rocks. And as these rocks are selected by you, each one of these beautiful beings sitting here, that it is really the infinity of God that is drawing you to that rock. And that it is an opportunity to really connect with this beautiful essence of the divine, because since there's only one, we are one with all. We're one with the rocks, the sand, the rays of sunshine. So now we'll be passing these out, and you will select your own rock.
So don't think about it. Put your hand over it, feel it, close your eyes, and choose. It's not about books. The rock. You know, all this is a symbol. All of this is a symbol. And this started in The Secret. You might remember that there was a doctor who had a son who had cancer. And he chose a rock. The young man chose a rock that he held on to and poured all of his love into it and held it in his hand every day. And this young man was healed from cancer. What was it? Was it the rock? I doubt it. Was it his belief? Yes. Was it his focus? Absolutely. So the rock. Oh, did we pass that out yet? No, we did not pass it out to you. Is that day 2? So please take this for day 2. The rock. The gratitude rock. Reflect upon your present blessings, of which every person has plenty, not on your past misfortunes, of which all people have some. So when you begin these practices, guys, it takes a few days to begin to fall into the routine. So day 1, you select 10 things for which you are grateful. And you say, thank you, thankful. On day 2, you have chosen a rock. We've just put it together for you in one day. You chose a rock. We want you to place this next to your bed at night. If you have an alarm clock, place it next to your alarm clock. We want it where you can see it and get to it every single night. So every night, every single night for the next 26 days, you're going to hold this rock in your hand. You're going to feel it. You're going to look at it. And you're going to think back on your day about all of the things that happened. Now, in the book, she says all of the good things that happen, and that's true. Of course, it's all the good things that happen. But sometimes I find that the not-so-good things that happen in my day are sometimes my greatest blessing. But she says, think about the things that have happened in your day and select one thing that you can focus and be grateful for. So hold that rock in your hand. What happened today? Let all of those things that happened in the day go through your mind. Because you know what you're doing when you do that? You're increasing the field of gratitude for so much. It's not just the one thing, it's for so much. You hold it in your hand. You think of the one thing in your day for which you are the most grateful. And you say, thank you. Thank you. So right now, I'd like you to just close your eyes for a second. Seems like such a simple thing to do, doesn't it, guys? But when you look for the best thing that's happened during the day, you're going to search through all of the good things that happened as well. And you'll actually be thinking about so much more than one thing. But right now, I want you to think about one thing. Turn to your partner, and if you're comfortable, and only if you're comfortable, share the one thing that you are so grateful for today. And that's the thing today you're the most grateful for? I love that. I love that. Everybody had something they're grateful for today. The one thing that they're grateful for today. All right. All right. So do you notice how she has started this gratitude process? You begin your morning with gratitude. The 10 things I'm grateful for and why. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful for and why. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 10 times. You said thank you 30 times before you've even possibly gotten out of your bed. Or maybe you're in your prayer room. I don't know where you are. You started your day in gratitude. And you're ending your day in gratitude. Some people carry their rocks with them in their pocket. She doesn't say to do that, but some people do. This might be a little big for some people, but seriously, and you are welcome to have a secondary gratitude rock if you want to carry it. You could get a smaller one, but it's a touch step. It's a touchstone. It's exactly what it is, to touch it, to feel it. Day 1, 10 things for which I'm grateful. Day 2, gratitude rock, the one thing that happened for me today for which I am so grateful. Questions, comments, thoughts about day 1 and 2 practice. Adding the why. This beautiful, grateful, I'm sorry, what is your first name? Chris, thank you. Chris said something that is true for all of us, I think, Chris. How many gratitude journeys have we embarked on? How many gratitude journals do I have with the first 4 pages? Could use it for something else. Because we begin on the gratitude journey, and then we go, I'm not feeling it. It's not happening. But when we use the word I am grateful because, when we add the because, we're setting up that vibration. We're setting up that vibratory field that says, that which we put out will come back to us. That which we put out will come back to us. All right, so I have process number 3 to give to you to take home, but and we can talk about it. And what I want you to know is that every day on your email, you will be receiving a sheet that looks like this, printed out. And if you have difficulty printing it out, let me know, and we'll have some for you on Sunday when you come to church. And you can keep adding to your gratitude book, adding to your gratitude book. Just keep adding to it every week. Practice 3, wow. Practice 3, where is my practice 3, Loretta? What have I done with it? Do you have a copy? Thank you. I have all these things to say to you, and I said nothing, but how do you do a 28-day workshop in an hour? I mean, hey, we've done not a bad job. Look, we're just going to hit the big stuff right up front. Relationship. Anybody want to skip that one? Well, I'm going to tell you something, Miss Kathy. I had a healing while I was typing this up for y'all. I had an amazing healing about a relationship while I was typing this document. I'm not going to tell you what it is because none of your business. But Thornton Wilder said we can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures. And by the way, the healing that I had today in a relationship was not someone who gave me a lot of love. It was quite the opposite. And I had such an amazing epiphany. So, gratitude makes relationships flourish. Listen to me. What's going to change here is not just you. Not just you. When you do this practice, everything around you changes. Because everything in your life is a relationship. Am I right? Whether it's a relationship with food, which, if it's a relationship with a person, an organization, a political party, whatever your relationship is, everything in our life is a relationship. So listen, I want you to go back to practice day 2. You saw it says, make sure you read the practice sometime today, because for practice number 3, you are going to need to have some photographs. All right? So here's what you're going to do, guys. You are going to collect. First of all, you're going to be grateful. This exercise is going to help you learn to be grateful for people just as they are, which is my biggest challenge. I mean, we all know that. So choose 3 of your closest relationships to be grateful for. Choose 3 of your closest relationships. Maybe your wife, your son, your father, your best friend. You can choose any 3 relationships that are important to you, as long as you have a photograph. Listen to me. Please do this process seriously. Don't be making it a tiny little, I got a little thing going with that person. No, seriously. Choose someone that is very important to you, whether they're in your life or not, whether you have healed or not, and do this process. So you will sit down with them, with the photograph of them in front of you. On the back, you can see the instructions. Sit down and think about the things you are the most grateful for about each person. I'm telling you, you can even be grateful for Adolf Hitler if you think about it long enough. Anybody want to give it a shot? Give it a shot. What can we be grateful to Adolf Hitler for? Say again? Well, I'm grateful that he was charismatic, yes, but what? We learned what we will not allow to happen again. We can be grateful that he modeled for the world that which is unacceptable. Am I right? We can be grateful that he modeled for the world the spiritual quality of purity turned inside out and deformed and made horrific. We can be grateful because of Adolf Hitler, entire groups of people came together and changed the world. We can be grateful to Adolf Hitler because from him and what he did, Viktor Frankl was birthed, and all the amazing work that peace has come about from that man. So I'm telling you, just because you might say there's somebody that I don't like, there is something you can be grateful for about them. One of their qualities. Perhaps it's their patience, their ability to listen, blah, blah, blah. You can be grateful for the things you enjoy now or once enjoyed with that person, right? And after you've spent some time thinking about what you're grateful for about that person, put their photograph in front of you and choose the 5 things that you are the most grateful for. Look at the photograph of the person as you make your list of the 5 things. Begin each sentence with, thank you. Address the person by name. And then write what you're grateful for. Would you model that?
So model.
Thank you. One that you were a person. You've done this.
I am so grateful for my beloved husband, Dave. He is so daring, and it helps me be inspired with my own adventurous nature.
You see? So, thank you, name of the individual, for whatever it is that you are grateful. I am grateful to Ken Cragen for the pain he brought that led me to know what it is I deserve to have in my life. Now that's a negative one, but I'm trying to heal. See? I am grateful to Janine Zeus for her support and her love and her gentleness in my crazy times. I am grateful to Ian for his smile that no matter what's going on can change the world and make everything okay by just his smile. You see where we're going to go? And his eyes, by the way. And his eyes. All right, gratitude. When you finished your list of all 3 people, continue the practice by taking the photographs with you during the day on day 3. If you can do this tomorrow, this is when you need to try to get this caught up tomorrow. You're going to take their photographs with you, and then at least 3 times a day or more if you can, pull those photographs out and look at them and remind yourself why you're grateful. This is very, very powerful. So, gratitude practice, day 3. That's tomorrow. 10 things for which you're grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The relationship process, right? And the rock. Before you go to sleep, you will hold the rock in your hand. You will think about your day. And you will say, the thing for which I am most grateful today was, and hold it to your heart. All of these seem so simple. They almost seem kind of silly in some ways. And yet I'm telling you, it is in the simplicity of life that the greatest things happen. What do you think? You ready to do it? You're going to stay for 25 days? You have 25 more days, guys. Tomorrow afternoon, if you wrote your email clearly enough for me to be able to read it, we will not be sharing your email addresses. For those of you who are watching us online, please send your email address to office@cslboise.org and say gratitude workshop, and we will add you to the list. You will be BCC'd, you will be blind copied, so you will not have anybody else's email. And if you want everybody to know, then just reply all, okay? If you want to talk or you want to ask questions, and I will, or make comments about anything, I promise you, I promise you guys that we learn the most from each other, don't we? What are we doing now? Okay, are there any questions from anybody or any comments? Really, guys, an hour. We wanted to keep you so you can now have some pie, some pumpkin pie and stuff, and sit around the tables and talk to each other. But we promised an hour, and we're trying to keep it as close to that as we can. Any questions at all for Loretta or Jackie? Any thoughts you want to share right now? We are grateful. We are grateful. We are grateful.
And I want to remind everyone that the Sunday before Thanksgiving, please be here. Bring your favorite potluck dish. We're going to have a Thanksgiving feast, and we will have an opportunity to stand up. If you're interested, we'll have a few people stand up and give your testimony on what kinds of transformations are occurring in your life through this practice. So remember that, and just come to have fun too, and commune with your community. So now we're going to turn within once again and feel into this beautiful presence, this power that is all good, all perfect life, all abundant life. And right here in this sacred circle, as we are moving into a deep practice of gratitude and appreciation, knowing that as each one of us does this individually, it raises the vibration inside of the individual, and it raises the vibration in this community, and it radiates out into Boise, Idaho, this country, the world, and the universe. That this is this beautiful energy of divine love is moving out from our hearts. And for all of this, infinite gratitude is oozing from us as these words are released into the law of mind, trusting and knowing it is done, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, thank you.
Please